Well, it has definitely been a day. Hi, and welcome back. What is Diary Bear Adventuring Company without a little bit of technical difficulty? Well, when I say a little bit of technical difficulty, I mean a lot of technical difficulty. So, some of you may know I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and one of the first things that I bought was this really cool setup. A very, very nice, super cardioid condenser mic. It's like the Mac Daddy of these like little startup microphones. As a matter of fact, it can be my forever microphone, and it works wonderfully. The other part that I bought is the preamp, which is actually just a little handheld recorder, but it's got the XLR plugs, and then I can connect it to my computer and play things through. Here's a problem. If I hold the power button down, that comes on as soon as I let off of the power button. Worky. Luckily, I have a backup mic, so we're there, but on top of all those technical difficulties. So I apologize for our lateness and our tardiness in getting started. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday. I know I did. The kids got lots of things. We had lots of fun stuff, and I've been cooking like crazy, making new recipes and trying out new things. If any of you follow me on Facebook, you've been seeing all the wonderful pictures of the nice, fluffy, tall biscuits that I've been making and all this other stuff. So welcome back. And we are on episode 7 of 12. So that means tonight and just 5 more episodes. And then we will take about, I'm aiming at about a month break. And what we're going to do during that time is basically I write. I see what the outcome of this one was, and then I write up all the next one, and then we jump back in after about a month's break. We do 12 episodes, we break, do 12 episodes, forth and so on. Speaking of shows and breaking and coming back, tomorrow there will be no Tuesday night session, as they are doing their session 0 for the new show, which is actually, if I'm not mistaken, they're using Scion. But when it comes back, it will look a lot more like this, where there'll be an intro video and all this other fun stuff that they're going to be doing. So look for that coming up, not tomorrow, but the following week. The rest of our shows right now, barring technical difficulties that cripple everybody, all the rest of our shows should be back this week. So that means Wednesday night, we're going back out hunting monsters with Monster of the Week. On Thursday, we're doing Descent into Avernus. And then back on Saturday, as far as I know, we still have the Stolen Cities. So make sure you tune in, and we will announce all of those when they go live. In the meantime, hello, everyone, and welcome back. Hi, Ray. It's good to see you. I really want to say that I really appreciate you picking up No Man's Sky for me. That was my Christmas gift from Ray. So I haven't installed it because I haven't had a whole lot of time to play anything because I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. In the meantime, I don't really have any big announcements. The virtual D&D weekend is coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend, which is the 15th? Yeah, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. I have Saturday and Sunday tables. I will be posting those on our Facebook page, as well as the registration for that in our Discord and my own personal Facebook page. So if you want to play a game with me, it's Adventurers League. I'm only running one tier 1. The second one that I'm running is tier 2, which is 5th through 10th level. That's okay though, because there's plenty of opportunity for you guys to catch up with your Adventuring League characters. Honestly, if you play 4 sessions before you get to my first tier 2, you'll be level 5, because it goes, you start at level 1, you gain a level every time you play an Adventure League, and it's a lot of fun. It's all online, and we have more of those coming up every month, so I'll start making sure you guys know when that's going on. Let's see, in April coming up, and I'll keep everybody posted. Here locally, we're doing the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. Now, it is one of the only conventions that I do in person. They did a really great job of the social distancing last year, making sure that all the booths and everything were far enough apart. There were clear flowing of lines. The line for the concession, while long, moved pretty quickly, and everybody was social distancing, keeping 6 feet between them. It was really well done and managed and maintained. So I look forward to seeing that. I will be, of course, in the physical gaming room running games there. So you come out and see me, and I'll let you know more about what we have going on, because it means I need to write up a new thing. Also, we launched a Kickstarter called Adventure Tomes back in October. Blink, blink, blink. Yes, and it didn't hit where we wanted it to. We've taken everything back. We've got a new marketing partner, and she has just really taken off with it. And we are looking to relaunch come April. You will start seeing some very, very familiar faces who will be unboxing the material, sending us videos, including us in some of their materials, and basically advertising the things that we really should have done beforehand. We're talking about retooling a lot of the box and doing a lot of changes so that way we can get you guys one of the best products out there. So look for that relaunch in April, and as soon as it gets close to that time, I'll let everybody know to keep an eye on it, so that way we can have everybody in there. But I think that is all of the announcements I have right now. Knowing how the day is going, I will say kick off the thing, and then the next thing you know, I'll be like, oh shit, that's right, I had another one. In the meantime, though, let's get to the troubleshooters.
Like a bottle or something.
Never forget, we're absolute professionals here.
You got there and back really fast.
I did, but like, I've really got to do something about this room. I think I'm just going to knock that entire wall that we just got finished painting out, so that I can expand that way.
I know somebody
redo my studio
with a sledgehammer. I can help you.
I have a sledgehammer. It's not the tearing down that's the problem. It's the
cleanup,
putting it back up. The good news is I still have 2 gallons of paint that I can use to repaint the new wall. Anyways, I did have, like I said, that I would forget things over the holiday. I wanted to say that I got to visit with Vixen. She flew up to Huntsville, and we had an amazing night on Saturday as Voodoo came over and with their significant other, and we all had a great time. Played. I taught them a new game called Tenzi, and much hilarity ensued, as well as playing villainous. And what villain was it that you wanted to play as again? No. I've already got her cracking up.
Melicephalant.
Melicephalant.
Love her.
I know it's pronounced Maleficent, guys.
I like your way
my
better.
It was fantastic. I can't argue with the way that you pronounced it. It was great. I have nothing wrong with that. Anyway, so let's get to the game at hand. The last time you saw the troubleshooters, they were standing at the gate to the Duke's manor, having put down a family that took umbrage with the directorate and casting magic out and bullets towards our intrepid heroes. There was a bit of a firefight. Some kids got killed in the process. Sorry, guys. Overall,
already dead.
Fuck them kids.
They were,
Yeah.
Granted, they were already dead, or something along those lines. You found a funerary mask which had some interesting script written on the inside of it, but you did not know who it belonged to or what it said. However, things are a little hinky in this town, so you head back to the Duke looking for answers. As you stood at the gates, announcing your presence, demanding an audience, that is where we will begin this evening's episode.
Quick question for the group before we would have walked into the manor. probably good conversation on the way there.
Mm-hmm.
Are we covering for the large fella by the fact that the mayor of the area we were sent to investigate turned out to be against the Duke in the first place? Do we use them as fodder or a smokescreen to cover the fact that there's a large stitched together fella?
I think that would be fine.
I mean, I thought we were covering for Adrian anyway, but I mean, yeah, totally throw those fuckers.
Because saying we didn't find anything is a lot less solid of a story than we found an entire family who was against you and took care of it.
Well, he sent us after something. There was something
Yeah.
he would have been. He knew about something. We just didn't know how much he knew. Because he sent us with a flamethrower.
So now, if he calls our bluff, he knows more than he told us in the first place.
Exactly.
Correct. Whenever, if for some reason he does bring up Adrian, we are going to just be like, they were just kids playing. We talked to the farmer who originally reported it, and he just said that it was kids. We have no idea.
It's like
Well,
three
we
kids
did-
in a trench coat.
Yeah,
Fine.
we did find some kids.
Keep in mind, the family was not against the Duke. They were against the
The
director.
kid.
The Duke doesn't know that.
And they can't say anything otherwise. I mean, got him.
We could literally just
I
say
can't
it
argue
was
with that.
kids.
That's perfectly logical. I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
We can just say that it was kids playing with magic because they were playing with magic.
And technically, they said that they were for the directorate, but were really against it. So they could technically say they were for the Duke, but really be against him. Who knows? They're dead.
No
We
one
would have
will
asked
ever
questions, but they
know.
attacked first, so it's fine.
So your story is they came off yelling "fuck the Duke" and then started opening fire on you.
Yes.
All right. Before you lays the large manor that you have already been to at least once. The large iron gates are closed, the guard standing there. As you announce your return triumphant, you see him motion and the guard step back and the gates swing open. Remembering that you're on foot. So
Did we not
You-
take the beat up
We were in
car?
a car, a very beat up car.
the car got knocked over on its side and the axle was busted, so it wasn't going anywhere.
I thought I rolled for it, and we got it to at least roll us to the gate.
Yeah. We got it to
so
It-
go a little bit.
Oh, so you're just
We-
hobbling it into the gate.
Pretty much, I believe you said it died
Right.
at the gate.
It does the
Jalopy
tired
at the
car
gate.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did the tires out.
It's
Okay,
just it's
that's
tired.
fine.
Yeah.
Tired
it's been
car.
a couple weeks. So, haha.
No worries.
Hey, Justin
Yay.
Everong, welcome. So the guard looks at your car, your vehicle, your mode of transportation, and gives you kind of an eyebrow, but then motions. The gates are open from the inside, and you are allowed entry in. Nothing was removed from you as you enter into there. Colm walks nervously beside you, but he looks not necessarily nervous. He looks like there was something else going on. Like it's not a look that you've seen on his face before. And as you approach the gate, you can see several guards are starting to make their way. It's just they're almost like the Swiss Guard for the Vatican. They're just like local hired patrol for the manor itself. They all wear matching uniforms, and they all seem to have a look about them, but they are definitely not like the Romanian army. They look like they are a private force. As you approach the gate or the door, you knock, and it is answered by one of the footmen or one of the men at arms, and you are allowed entry in. You are asked to wait in the parlor. and you are escorted there. After a few moments, refreshments are brought to you. Nearly an hour has passed before anybody comes to see to you. By this time, the tea that is there has gone cold. You've had a couple of cups, and the atmosphere in the room is starting to get a bit tense. The door to the parlor swings open, and in walks one of the servants. He is dressed in finery with gloves on. He snaps his heels together and says, "The Duke will now see you. Please, follow me." He bows his head and then waits for you all to stand. You're led through.
Is it the same servant that we saw last time who gave us the right-hand man servant of the Duke, or is it a different servant?
Somebody else altogether. You're escorted from where the parlor is through through a long hallway, taking down another one, and then eventually you climb a set of stairs. You definitely know that this is like a servant's entrance almost, because one, the stairs are not off of the main area where you saw the two swinging rising staircases. It's a narrow enough place that you can pass through. You were then escorted through another hallway where there's a rap on the door. The door is opened, and he kind of stands back, allowing you entry in. As you enter this room, you can see it's like an antechamber, or like a side chamber to another room. And you can hear a conversation going through the heavy wooden doors, meaning that they're probably talking very loudly in the room next to where you're at.
What language are they speaking?
They are speaking in English. You can't quite make out like the entire conversation. You can make out certain words, if that makes sense.
Sure.
But it's not enough for you to kind of pick up what they're
just trying to get an idea of what we're walking into.
Bickering about. Sure. In this room is the right-hand man that you saw the last time. He stands, and he seems even more imposing, regardless of his dress. He seems more imposing. He points to you and says, "I would ask that you leave all weapons here in this room. I would hate to have an assassination attempt on the Duke. You understand, of course."
Gage is going to pull the pistol out of his jacket, lay it on a table.
No, never mind the flamethrower.
No. Part of the ship, part of the crew. He'll take that off, put it next to his revolver, and take the makeshift bayonet spear and put it next to his stuff.
All right.
Had no problem with us being armed the last time we talked to the Duke.
Well, we were at a party. They probably didn't realize if we were armed or not, unless we weren't armed.
I think we were supposed to not be.
You handed us munitions the last time we talked to the Duke.
Yeah.
The last time you talked to the Duke, you were given munitions afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not beforehand.
Okay.
Like, I know we had some altercations to our outfit. Like, Emrys probably would have been armed. I asked for a sort of dagger sheath that went across my lower back, so I could have something on me, but whether they saw it or not is up to them.
As you...
This takes the sword out from, like, behind her, and, like, her hair... She lays it on the table, but she doesn't, like, take the sheath with her. Just done.
Just the bare blade, leaving the sheath on your back?
Correct.
Okay.
It's too hard to undo.
rogue.
I would have to get naked.
I hate to be that rogue, but there goes the hunting rifle, there goes the revolver, there goes the rapier, there goes dagger 1, there goes dagger 2.
Like
That's
everybody else is laying like 3 things down, you're like pulling out a pile of weapons. And it's like every single dagger you pull out, you don't lay it down, you like stab it into the wood.
No,
That is
it's probably
mahogany.
I was gonna say that's probably mahogany or something. I won't take
You go to
I-
stab it, and it just
it
goes
out of my
boink.
head.
It just punk. Oh,
I am going to take my rifle and my main hand pistol and put it on the table.
Thank you, just enough.
that,
This
you
will
have all
also
of your
just take
daggers.
small bottles
I
out
promise,
of
I
her
only have
pocket
two.
that are filled with some sort of liquid. They don't have labels on them, but they're different colored bottles for her to know what they are. And
What
they're just like
color-coded?
on the table, and she's just like, I don't touch those.
Because
Just
I'm
don't touch
pretty
any
sure
of them.
even my party doesn't know that there's a rifle under my offhand, we're gonna see if that sneaks through.
Thank you for the subscription. Yay! We miss him. Yeah, unfortunately, Otter is not feeling particularly. We're really glad that he's here with us, at least on voice. But the lights are kind of hurdy today, so we will see the beard make a glorious return soon, hopefully.
I have a gnarly light sensitive headache today, so I'm here, but if I had my setup running, I would be in rough shape by the end of the night.
Yeah. So after unburdening yourself of all of your weapons, you watch as he looks at Calm, and Calm goes and just holds up the accordion file, and then like moves his jacket, like shows his jacket and shows he doesn't have anything on him. He just kind of nods his head. And again, Colm has this look on his face that you've not seen before. Passive insight.
Oh gosh. Damn it. 12.
15.
I heard a 16. 15,
15?
12.
12. Talk to him about that accordion. See if I can sneak a knife in there.
Vixen, what was yours? I'm sorry.
My passive insight is 15. My passive perception is 17.
Okay, passive insight. It's not a look that you've seen on Colm before, but you recognize, and it dawns on you, Colm's mad. He's angry. Hey,
cinnamon,
thank you for the gift sub. Look at this. This is a wonderful night.
our little cinnamon bun is spicy today.
He's toasted today.
Not my fault. Wasn't me.
Was it not this time?
The flamethrower was on the table already. I didn't do it.
Didn't do it.
Pumpkin spicy.
No.
A little too much cinnamon in this one. So the door opens and you are once again escorted into the study from a side room. As you enter, you can see a very familiar man whom you met last time. One of the directorate, like higher ups. Calm nods at him. Holcomb. Holcomb nods back. The Duke is sitting at a table. In front of him, you can see that there are, paperwork and things like that spread out. Holcomb is reclining in a chair, like an overstuffed chair, with a small snifter in his hand. You can see this dark amber-colored liquid that he swirls every once in a while and takes a sip of. The room, other than those two men, you don't see anybody else. After a moment, you hear the Duke say, "Quit skulking about behind those things. Step forward, man." And out of the corner, you see a man who is swarthy and dark-haired. He is wearing a long coat that goes past his knees, and it is kind of buttoned across. Yes, Gage.
What does swarthy mean?
Like dark of skin.
Thank you.
Like leathered, dark of skin. He stands there and he leans against one of the shelves. It looks like he just kind of emerged out of nothing, and he leans against one of the shelves. The Duke looks at you expectantly and says, "So, have we taken care of the problem?" Your report? And Colm holds a hand up. He goes over and opens up the folding case, takes out what appears to be a folder, very short, very kind of thin. He slaps it down. We were chasing shadows, ghostmen. There was nothing out there to see at all. Well, I should say, you'll find a new mayor for your town soon, or at least you should. There was some unsightly business with the last one, and unfortunately, he did not make it through the other side. The Duke purses his lips and says, I see. Well, I'm glad to see that you're all well. And Holcomb says, what'd you do with the Duke, if you might mind my asking?
The Duke
What
or the
did you
mayor?
do with the mayor? Sorry, the mayor. If you don't mind my asking. Colm turns and looks at him and says, he was handled. Right now, right here. These people, motioning to the lot of you, are absolute professionals. Sending them in as a hired hit squad is not what they're here for. Their job is to find problems and solve them. At this point, you watch as Holcomb stands up, takes a long drain off of there and sets it down and says, they work for the Directorate, not for you. They will do what it is that we need them to do. The problem was dealt with, so you say. Good, good. We'll assign someone more sympathetic to our needs in place of the last one. Good job on all of your accounts. The Duke looks a bit taken aback. The report of the man who was there was real. I'm glad to see that was nothing to see. Yet, I am also horrified to hear about this unfortunate business with the mayor of the town.
You sent us in that are absolutely fucking blind, knowing exactly what's going to happen. Moonin almost died. You should have told us what we were supposed to do from the fucking get-go.
Let's put just a hand on Gedge to be like, please don't kill the Duke. I mean, that doesn't say it, but her hand is just like, please don't kill him. Like,
he brushes it off.
He brushes
it off and steps to the side of the room.
You just brush it off.
Yeah, he brushes it off and he steps over to the side of the room, preferably close to a window if there is one.
Actually, there is not in this room.
All right.
No, I'm sorry. There is. It's like a skylight window. So
Time
you want
to
Are
scale
we
climb up a
getting a
ladder?
bit of an echo
Climb a
from
ladder.
Gesh?
Time to scale a bookcase. Or something.
Sorry.
Oh,
We're getting a bit of an echo from Gesh.
I'm
don't know how to
not
fix
hearing
it.
it.
I'm hearing it on my end.
Fix.
I'm not hearing it here. Surprisingly.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
It happens sometimes.
Trust me, it's just an audio thing.
You know,
today is just audio issues.
It's the first day back after 2 weeks. It happens. It
looks like it may have stopped.
Try again, Gesh.
Hello.
No echo.
Sounds all right.
There we go.
Perfect.
No echo?
You're awesome.
I don't know what I did because I didn't do anything. I was going to my settings to make sure it was coming through where it was supposed to.
It sounded like when you raised your voice it happened, but when you were talking at regular level it didn't. I don't.
You guys can't yell. That's all there is to it.
I'm sorry. He's not supposed to.
Soft-spoken rage.
The world can't handle Gej when they're yelling. That's all.
He's just so angry. Cool.
Sorry, guys.
I know it sounds really quiet, but trust me, I am so pissed off right now.
Super mad. You have no idea. I'll try to lean away if I get excited again. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
I'm gonna go find a plastic toy and push it into. Sorry.
Don't be.
If anything, I'll stand a little bit closer to Gej. I won't touch him, but I'll just stand by him.
He also wasn't yelling at the Duke. He was yelling at the guy from the directorate.
Holcomb.
Yes, because he was the one that was like, we're going to replace him with somebody more sympathetic to our cause, right? The Duke's kind of in the black, so yeah, he was yelling at Holcomb.
She wouldn't have touched him. She thought he was yelling at the Duke.
No.
I'm just following Colm's lead. I'm staying quiet.
So,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh no, I was just. So you say sympathetic more to our needs, but did you even look into this mayor? Was this mayor looked into his background, into his past? I'm afraid with even just a small come through, there's more to explain than just the fact that this was a regular family. I don't know who that is. Thank you, JT.
Holcomb looks at you and says, "What I do, and what the directorate does, is not yours to question. You are given an order. You follow those orders.
And if
you understand?"
Well, I understand clearly. That's more than okay. But when we stop following those orders, when we deal with the problems as we see fit, is that when you'll step in and stop us?
Trench. And as he says the word trench, the long, lanky individual that was kind of leaning quietly against, Holcomb says, "That's why we have people like Trench." You've done a great service for us, and I'll make sure that you're all taken care of. Call it a bonus for your activities here in Romania. Sympathizers with Hungarian movements and those who are no longer in power are necessary to sometimes quell what could be an opposition in the future. You all have done a remarkable job. Now, don't you have an office to skitter back to of some sort?
I do believe we have some sightseeing we want to do while we're out here. It's not often we're out this way, and figured why not take a day or two while we're waiting for next orders.
Holcomb drains his drink and sets it down, and he says, "That's fine. There'll be more of a job waiting for you later." Colm, who he doesn't even look up at him, My good Duke, come trench. And he leaves through the main doors, exiting out of the room, leaving you alone with the Duke and his right-hand man.
Where does left-hand man go?
Left-hand man is tending to other things in the building.
Okay.
The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing right now. The Duke looks at you, and he looks a little sheepish.
Yes.
We're alone. The time is now.
I am sorry for the deceptions that were given to you. Do not look unfavorably on me, I would pray. I merely have this part of the country to deal with. You have done a service for all of Romani.
You could have told us.
Tell you, go to the city and kill or otherwise dispose of a family that was not sympathetic to the future of this new country that we have formed.
A family practicing unsanctioned magic. A problem for you, a problem for us, as we are already.
This decision to use you for this particular manner and thing was not mine. I had spoken to Holcomb concerning the situation. It was his idea. And Colm just goes, of course it was. What a bastard. I must ask, when you found the mayor and his family, you said that they were already dead.
Most of them, at least.
I don't understand.
The children. Maybe the mother. Not too sure about that yet.
But yet they were up and moving about, yes? Of their own free will?
No.
Well,
Most.
not so much still, but they were up and moving about.
What sort of magic can allow someone to live as though they were normal in those conditions?
The unsanctioned kind?
Dagger of sorts.
Obviously. I feel a bit ashamed for my actions. Is there anything that I can do to help?
Know of anywhere nice and quiet for us to spend the next couple days sightseeing before we leave?
Yes, actually.
Ooh, do you know any of
Bakeries? The kitchen staff. We have a baker here. We can provide you with those things. There is a chateau recovered from the war, and a bit further north of here. You may use it. I will send word ahead that you will be staying there for 3 days.
Seems fair.
At most a week. We're just waiting on orders and figure we might as well do some exploring while we wait. But no hard feelings after the conversation we just had. Don't really want to stay near here.
I understand. Please, do not allow this to shed an ill light or a disfavorable light on the country. It is a beautiful place. I promise you this.
Sure. I do have a curious question.
Yes.
While we were going through the mayor's house, we found some scribblings referring to some kind of large fire that may have happened locally, but there weren't really specifics. Would you know anything more about that?
He kind of like looks left and right, and he kind of like shakes his head, but the man next to him steps forward and says, "Sir, there was the matter of it was a matter of the place and the ah yes, of course, yes." And he kind of steps forward. Um, the right hand man looks up and says, "There was a doctor who worked in this area. He was involved in the war. His efforts were to design something. He was they thought he was mad. There was a mixture of magic and science or something along those lines. He might have a home that I know that there was a large fire that took out his home, but there is no information about the doctor himself past that. It is assumed, of course, that he perished in the fires, in the flames."
There was some paperwork lightly linking information on the doctor to those we found at the mayor's residence. Can you point us in the direction of this house?
He the right hand man who just that says RHM moves over towards a map and guides you over. You can see it's like a map of the newer territory, and he puts his hand on it and he says, it's several hours. It's a couple of hours to the east from here, but that would be where you would find it. It's the older border along the lines of where Hungary and the Ottoman Empire used to end, and the old Wallachia stood, but it is there.
I appreciate the information. It's probably nothing, but because we found information at the mayor's, we should at least tidy up our paperwork and check it out.
Of course. And he steps back, and the mayor says, you will also need, or not the mayor, the Duke. The Duke says, you'll also probably need a car, some mode of transportation. Allow me to arrange that for you as well. Hand waving here. A little bit later, you guys are finding yourselves in a vehicle with a hastily drawn directions on how to get to where you can need to go, as well as directions to the chateau that he had mentioned earlier.
Check vehicle for explosives.
Checking it over carefully. Give me an investigation check.
Not that I don't trust these people, but I really don't trust these people. Investigation. That's with a +0. That's a 13.
Okay. No, you do not find any devices that would lead to an ill-fated end.
Okay.
It seems to be just a regular, good old European vehicle, autovoiture. The vehicle bumps and bucks down the road. Which way did you want to go first? Did you want to go to the last known whereabouts of the doctor?
I'll kind of look at the rest of the party. I feel like after how today has gone, we should at least look like we're going to explore before we look into leads.
good with whatever. I mean, I don't speak this language, so I don't really want to be here. But if you guys want to be here, we probably should check out and see if the doctor is still going to be an issue.
She's
I
like, I
don't
don't want to be
speak
here,
the
but at least
language
it's not
here
France.
either.
But at least it's not France.
France? I don't think any of us speak the language here. At least.
Our little cinnamon bun does.
Does Colm want to translate for us the entire time, though? That's the next question.
I guess we should look to Colm and see.
I'm all right with taking a break. It's
Well, do we have any work coming in that we're waiting on, or does the fact that a doctor creating whatever we found possibly still existing warrant us looking into it? Or option C, enjoy a couple days in a chateau that we don't have to pay for until work comes in.
I mean, I don't see an issue with taking a break before we go explore the doctor. I understand that's all work, but the place is burnt down unless he has gone somewhere else to continue what his work was. He's probably at least out of business for a little bit.
Have we been followed at all that we could notice during our drive out of the manor?
Let's see. What's our highest passive? 17?
19.
19?
Yeah, Gesh got them eyes.
Great question. You don't seem to notice any car that's like tailing you. So you don't believe you're being tailed. However, you do every once in a while. You know how you start looking or talking about a car, and then as soon as you turn around, you see that car everywhere?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm thinking about getting like, my brain just almost like a Ford Explorer, and next thing you know, you see Ford Explorers every time you turn around.
Mm-hmm.
You start to think about a tail, and you're starting to look around, and you swear that you've seen that particular car before. But then again, there's not a whole lot of cars out there in that style. Cars are kind of not a very popular common thing right now. There's still a lot more people on horses and carts. So
Are there any like defining features?
I mean, no, it's very nondescript. It's just plain black car. It's actually a truck, so it has a bed that you can see in the.
But no dents or anything anywhere on it?
Nope, just plain black.
How many times do I think I've seen this vehicle?
In the trip that you're taking, maybe 2 or 3, like it would fall in behind you and then turn off, another road, and then maybe 20 minutes later or 30 minutes later, you would see what looks like that truck waiting at a crossroad as you went by, and then it would turn in behind you and seem to go with you and then fall away or something like that.
So the third time that I think I see it, whoever's driving, I'm assuming it's Colm.
Mm-hmm.
Colm, can you pull over for a minute? I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh, are you all right?
Just pull over.
Yes, absolutely. And he starts to slow down and pull the car over.
So Gage is gonna fling the door open and go over to the side of the road. Mm-hmm. He's gonna kind of like squat in the grass, but he's gonna keep an eye on the vehicle as it passes.
Yeah, it just moves past you.
Trying to look at the driver.
There are 2 people in the car. There's a passenger and a driver. The passenger, let's see. Nope, the driver. The passenger is the one that you can see. He seems to be a Romanian man, or stretch.
That's nice.
I've got green on my shirt. Does it actually show up?
It's not disappearing.
But you can't tell.
We can kind of hear it in your voice a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When Gej goes out, I'd like to accompany him just in case.
He's also been chain smoking this whole time.
Yeah. Just brush his hair back out of his head. Are you okay? Are you okay, sweetie? Do you want some tea for your stomach?
Just rubbing his back.
Liz is rifling through the bag to try and find a bottle, and she's like, she grabs the right bottle, and she's all like, I think this is the right one. And then she's like gonna also kind of be like, hey, I have nausea stuff. I think it might be poison. I'm pretty sure it's nausea. Do you want it?
The label just says probably not poison.
Just has a question mark on it.
They're all color coded, but it's like shades off from one another.
All of them say poison, but the different colors are actually what they are.
That way nobody steals your vials.
That's correct. And the ones that say probably not poison are probably poison.
Most definitely. Yeah, he tries to memorize as much of this person's face as he can.
So, as you were out of the vehicle, you see them. They don't really slow down, but you notice the passenger is almost like he's doing the same thing. He's making a quick study of you as you're making a quick study of him. It drives past you.
So he's gonna pull out his flask of water, put a little bit on like his sleeve, and wipe his forehead, make it seem like he's actually feeling sick.
Mm-hmm.
Light another cigarette, because like I said, he's been chain smoking since I left the Duke.
That pack almost empty.
You're gonna have to roll some more soon. And he's also been fiddling real hard with the bird skull. But he'll turn and look to you, Emrys. I'm fine, really. I appreciate it.
Are you sure? We probably have a farther travel still ahead of us. Do you want to take a break? Maybe walk for a little bit? I'm told fresh air is better. I can stay with you. We can send them ahead. Probably find another vehicle at some point.
You know, that sounds nice.
I can go let them know, and then we'll walk for a bit. What's the area look like around here? Mostly like trees, thin road?
Yeah, it's trees and a little bit on the, like, the road is more of like a beaten dirt path with here and there a few cobbles. A lot of forest and like hilly, mountainy kind of terrain. It's not flat, This is you're in mountain country.
So a bit of walking and a bit of climbing. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, this road kind of goes up and down.
Yep.
So you guys are climbing back into the vehicle?
Do you want to walk for a bit, or?
Colm, do you mind if we take a short stroll? You can go about 10 minutes up the road, and we'll meet back up with you whenever we catch up.
I'll stick with Gej, so it's not going to be like he's by himself.
Something wrong?
Just not feeling super great.
Liz hands you the bottle that she's pulled out of her pocket, and she goes, I'm 99% sure that this won't kill you.
Do I believe that Gej doesn't feel all right?
Are you trying to deceive your ally?
I mean, technically, it is sort of kind of a
deception roll versus an insight roll.
14.
Yeah, I have to make a deception roll?
No, Gej was lying to
Noonan.
Moonin, so I was gonna have
Gush doesn't
deception.
normally smoke so often. I know he smokes, but does he chain
That was
smoke
a
very often around
14.
us?
Yeah.
It's a tie.
Yes.
What's your modifier? Because like that's
Mine
usually how.
is a +5.
So yeah, you beat me out on it. He lied.
There is definitely an obfuscation of truth, or at least you get the indication that Gej is not being 100% honest, but you're not exactly sure why. You're seeing behavior that is uncharacteristic. Uncharacteristic.
Okay.
He did take your bottle, by the way, Liz.
Yeah, it's not so much that you think that Gej is lying. It's just he's acting very uncharacteristic for Gej.
Although Munin, could you do me a favor? I've been trying to keep my mind busy by playing a game. Can you count the number of black trucks that go by?
Absolutely. Is this kind of like a drive around town and meet back up with you kind of count the trucks?
Explain.
Or do we head where we're going kind of drive?
Where you go and drive for, I don't know, about 10 minutes or so, and Amorous and I'll meet back up whenever we finish. Or we'll walk in the same direction, and our paths will cross, and we'll get back in and go with you then.
Colm looks very confused, but acquiesces to your request, and we'll see you in a few moments then. All right.
Of course.
And the car with Liss and Moonin and Colm driving pulls away, and you two are left to wander down the street. And we are left to wander around. We're going to take about a 15-minute break. We're going to come back at just a little, let's say 35 after, so it's a little bit longer than a 15-minute break. That'll give us a chance to get up, get some water, get around, and then we'll be back to finish up the last half of the show. Thank you all so much. Go ahead, and there's a tweet out there. If you would share it so much or share it to your friends that we are live, I would love that. Thank you again so much for the subscriptions. We really appreciate all of that, and we will see you all at 35. Thanks. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for being so patient with us while we got up and stretch. Don't forget, you can claim your Twitch points for stretching and hydrating, making people pay compliments to one another, all sorts of fun things. And you can, hey, as I just like horked down all those chips that you saw me eating.
I thought you might need a drink cap.
Indeed. Sorry, I'm mesmerized by the bookcase through the glass.
Oh no.
10 minutes, everybody.
10
Another fun
minutes,
thing you can do
folks.
is set a timer for no cursing.
I swear like a sailor.
I think we did that for a one shot, and we ended up with like close to an hour before we actually beat the timer. We would get down to the end, and then all of a sudden it would start again.
Okay, we should have a timer up. There it is. Okay.
All right. So, you two hopped out of the vehicle, told Colm to drive forward about 10 minutes, and that you would catch up with him. Okay. You jump out, and Colm takes off down the road, leaving you. He becomes a little dot climbing the crest of a hill ahead of you.
Someone
two of you-
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna finish your description, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, the two of you, are you going to stick to the side of the road? Are you going to get off into the woods a little bit? What are you going to do?
I'm gonna walk the side of the road.
Okay.
I think someone's following us.
Is that why you mentioned the dark truck vehicle? Sorry.
It is. Can't be for certain that it's the same one, but 3 times so far the truck's passed us.
Honestly, whether it's a different car or not, 3 times enough seeing the same vehicle is... that should be enough.
That's what I'm thinking. It's been
Wow.
about 10 to 20, 30 minutes each time.
Keeping tabs on us, perhaps, then. Splitting us up, though, that's... I'm glad I offered the walk. They'll have a harder time keeping track on us if they are following us. How are you feeling, though? Really?
I'm fine.
You've smoked more often than you have been when we started. Small things, but noticeable.
It's just a thing.
Well, we're teammates, but if you'd ever like to talk, I am here for it. Pretty good at keeping secrets if that's what you want it to be, but
Just a lot of static, it feels like sometimes. Kicking around in my head. Sorry for yelling.
it's alright. It's fair enough. It's enough of a reaction. It's quite normal, really.
Yeah, my mum raised me better. She told me to go pick a switch. She didn't like hitting on the bum. She liked the back of the legs, said it lasted longer.
Punishments are a thing. At the house, since we're sharing the kids' magic, they showed me someone I have been running from for quite some time. So, I would pull my collar down a little bit to show the scar that runs up his neck. Something I got from them.
Should we ever run across him, we can pay him back in kind. Don't have to tell Colm about it.
I hope to never come across him again. Really. But we've got some time to travel and talk. Until we meet up with the others. Hopefully we see the truck again. Perhaps we can do a little damage. Maybe?
Perhaps.
Get to use that flamethrower you've been waiting to use.
Wait a second. You got out of the car, pretended you were sick,
Went
geared
back.
up
I
with the
grabbed the
flamethrower?
No, I'm kidding. Whether you have it or not, actually, I'm kidding. But no, probably not. I would be geared up, but
He'd have his gun and his spear, because those don't leave his person most of the time, but the flamethrower would still be in the car.
Hold
Oh.
on, guys. I think I'm going to throw up. Let me just get this flamethrower real quick before I
I
go
gotta
on.
throw, I gotta throw up. Sets the forest on fire. I feel better.
It's an emotional support flamethrower, guys.
exactly. Listen, sometimes I'll bring the flamethrower for Gash. No, I'm kidding.
Can I pet your flamethrower? He's working.
Oh, what a nice flamethrower. Can I hold that? No.
It's
No,
just got a
use the
sticker on
best
it that
side.
says, "Don't touch me, I'm working."
Yes.
Don't
Just-
Okay,
It
perhaps
just
not
hugs the
damage.
nozzle. It's so warm.
reminds me of home.
Perhaps not damage with the flamethrower, but maybe I could throw a dagger at one of the wheels.
Stands there staring at the pilot light at the end of it.
Somebody please make us an image of an emotional
Somewhere
support.
along the way, we just found out
flamethrower.
that Gesh is basically a pyromaniac. I don't know. Only with flamethrowers, though.
I love that for him. I'd
That's
indulge it.
Service flamethrower vest.
Sorry. Yes.
No, it's great. The two of you are meandering down the road, taking your time.
Mhm.
You hear the sound of a vehicle behind you. Looking over your shoulder, you see a black truck.
Kind of
So-
softly. Sorry, go ahead.
So if they stop and ask us if we want to ride, do we accept?
Do we play along with them? That's the thing. I'll follow you. If it's the same person you've seen before, if you did see the person, at least kind of guessing at that.
I saw the passenger.
If it's the same passenger, we could.
Then we'll also know for sure if we're being followed.
Exactly. I do have a small stash of poison if worse comes to worse.
No, but I've got spells. I'm sure Ares would be more than happy for a fight.
I'll follow you. I'll let you choose.
He'd nod. Keep walking.
The truck pulls up alongside of you. It is most definitely the same passenger. But where it has passed you the last few times with no one inside other than the passenger and the driver, the bed of the vehicle has additional guests. 4 of them, to be exact.
We fucked up. Shit. Sorry. Okay, timer reset.
The
We had 2 minutes left.
I'm sorry, I told you.
Good job.
We're back up to 10.
Dead.
Noticing the people like, do we go into the trees?
The window on the passenger side, which is kind of a partial window, he leans against it and he says something to you in a very deep tone. Vidyasir, Mirkarta. And he nods to the back of the truck.
What language was he speaking?
What languages do you speak? It's not this one.
Oh. What languages do I speak? Gaelic, French, German.
No, let's go.
Where are you?
English, French, German. I know sign. I know. Oh, what is that rogue language? It's not a language. It's
Thieves can't.
thieves can't. Thank you. I was like, I know rogue.
That one? Y'all, I can't find my languages.
Oh, I know you know French, and I know you know Gaelic and English. I don't think you know German.
I know German.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because they were speaking in German. They don't. Gage doesn't know
I don't know
Norwegian
Nordic.
or Swedish. Yeah,
And neither do I.
because that's why those two hooligans were having fun conversing.
Yep.
All right. You do
Wait.
not know what language they are speaking.
Okay, does it sound familiar? Is it one that we've heard?
Yeah, you've heard it around here.
Okay, so
they're
we can
speaking
assume it's
a-
Romani.
Right.
Gotcha.
He looks at you again and motions one more time to the. He's like, says it again, motioning to the truck, and you can hear it tick up at the end a little bit, like like he's
Like a
asking you a question. Mm-hmm.
He'd shake his head.
He looks into the driver and says something, and the driver leans forward so he can look out the glass, and the passenger leans back. The driver says, very broken, "You ride?
No, thank you.
You drive?"
Walk. It's fine.
He kind of says something like loudly to the ones in the back, and they kind of lean over, and you can see that they're like looking at the two of you now.
Do they look like they're armed, or do they look like they're? Do they feel threatening? You know how some people are just like, that guy looks weird. I don't like that.
They are definitely giving you. They're definitely sizing you both up. You don't see any weapons. You don't see any things on them. They're sizing you up from what you can see in the way that they're looking at you to determine how dangerous you are. Now, I know personally how dangerous you both are.
Thank you, Raymond, for the party boon.
Yeah.
Party boon!
Raymond.
I think the only weapons noticeable on Emrys would be the rapier and the rifle.
Party boon for the next encounter, whenever that may be. You will have a +2 to your armor class and a +2 to saving throws.
I love that.
+2 AC, +2 to save throws. Woo!
That's scary.
Like a ring of protection +2.
Sure. How far are we up the road right now?
Averaging your car, which would move at like a top speed of around 35 miles an hour, you were driving for a few minutes, so you're looking at probably being you're probably in the time that they've been walking, which has been about 10 minutes, you're looking at you're a couple miles down the road. You're like,
I thought we were meeting up after 10 minutes.
well, right. You guys were driving ahead 10 minutes worth of time.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
remember
wouldn't we have
that they
stopped?
don't walk that fast.
So, with some time, we would meet you. Probably like what?
And
Maybe 30 to 40 minutes, depending on if we stopped or not.
I mean, walking speed is about 3 miles an hour for you
Oh.
two. So,
Maybe I'm just thinking of speed walking.
You can walk a 15-minute mile.
I mean, you absolutely can. You can force march your ass right up that hill
Mm-hmm.
if you want to.
Yes.
But walking at just a regular pace, you're looking at 3 miles an hour.
Okay.
So, I mean, you two weren't like jogging up the hill, right? Or jogging towards where they were going, right?
No, we're just walking.
Oh,
Not
who
casually.
swore?
Cap
I
did.
think Cap did, but does
Captain.
Cap count towards the
That's
party?
right.
Or does that count for everyone?
It's everybody.
Oh.
Here
I
we
forgot what
go
time it is there.
again. Back
All
up to
right.
10.
I'll be better. Okay. So this is the fun one. It's like we really should lower that timer, I believe.
No, they're not casually strolling, but they are moving at a fairly decent pace. So it might be
Okay.
like 3.5.
Let's say 4 miles an hour then.
Yeah.
So if you went 10 miles, you're looking at probably needing about, if you went 10 minutes, you're looking at being, it would take you about 45 minutes to catch up with, well, no, 35 minutes to catch up with them where they're at. They're not that far ahead of you, but it's still, further than.
Yeah.
In the car, however, since you two are at the bottom of this kind of hill that goes up, in the car, as you guys crest to the top of the hill and get over the edge of it, Colm like stands up on the brakes, putting the car to a stop. This is not very long after you guys gotten out, and Colm looks at Moonin. Looks at both of you actually and says, "I don't feel right about this. I feel that there's something wrong. I don't
Judging
trust."
by Gej, I think there's a possibility we have a tail.
Should we go back?
I have a pretty good line of sight from a distance. I feel like we should keep some distance, but keep an eye on them. One more time, Liz. You're not coming through.
Your audio is just in the
Please
naughty.
go back and say that I.
No, I can't hear you at all.
It looks really interesting, though.
It does look very interesting.
I'm very curious.
We can
Oh,
always go back and considering.
we could always go back considering.
Just typing it out.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, never mind. It's fine. Sorry.
We could go back saying giving them poison.
I love poison in the morning or very late at night.
Hair of
I
the
could
dog.
just share some tea with them. What I like to call it.
I feel like they have a good idea on at least seeing if it's the same people. If Gej did get an eye.
All right, so you want to stop at the top. So again, Colm has just crested the hill, and he is like looking to you two.
How far are we from the top of the hill to them? Would you say it's within 240 feet?
Within your rifle range?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I see them?
Yes. They are. You can actually laying down on the road so that you can get a better position to fire from.
Yep.
You absolutely can see them.
I will tell Colm to turn the vehicle around. So if we do have to traverse down the hill, we can. And I'm going to lay down and put scope up.
All right, so You watch as Moonin exits the vehicle, laying himself down on the side of the road with his rifle propped nicely. Colm turns the vehicle around with Liz.
Liz has a passive perception of 17. Would she have noticed the truck?
No, I mean, once
Moonin would have told you there's a truck pulled over there the second I put my sight up.
like, would you have noticed the tail? No, they weren't. They were just good enough to where you wouldn't have noticed it. But yeah, once you know now you see the truck down there at the base of the hill. You guys hear a sound at the back of the truck, you two. And it is the sound of a metal flap slapping down as they have released the tailgate. And the four men in the back start to step or climb down out of the back of the vehicle.
For reference, if anyone puts a hand towards either of them, I'm lobbing around.
Okay. A rather large man with a bald head, but like not a long beard, but like a thick facial beard, just like right here, but it's like super thick, is like pointing. He's not touching you, but he's pointing at you and he's saying something. He looks like one of those guys that he gets up in the morning and the first thing he thinks about is getting his protein in, banging and clanging. Yeah, he is swole boy. He is, yeah. He is
Sorry.
brother swole.
Don't understand what you're saying, bud.
And he's like pointing again, and he points to the truck, and he points at Emrys, and he points to the truck, and he's like saying something. You can tell from his tone that he's like, he's not going to take no for an answer. The other three are starting to spread out around you guys.
All right. So, guy's just gonna shake his head no again. Kind of gesture for Emrys to step back with him. He's not turning his back on these people. He's just stepping back a couple steps.
You are, Liz, since you are still in the car, you see Colm step from the vehicle. He opens up his little accordion case and he takes out what appears to be like an old school, like collapsible spyglass, and he extends it, and he goes and stands at the edge of the hood of the car so he can see down the hill. And he starts looking through the spyglass. Back down at the base of the hill, you can. Sorry, go ahead.
So I assume Liz can see, and she knows that Moonin is out there with his rifle, and she's like, Colm, get in the car. We may need to haul ass. Moonin, if you want to get in the car, you can, but I also know that you're fine at this distance. So what do you want to do?
Moonin is gonna tell you guys to haul your ass down this hill.
Colm looks at you, collapses the spyglass, and puts it in his shirt. And he says, only if they do something.
How
No.
about you start
you
your
can't
way
get
down the
out
hill? If you hear a bang, they did something.
Colm looks at you both like one to the other, and he goes, I don't think you understand. I have this well in hand.
Okay.
And he puts a hand on Lys's shoulder. And you start watching as he starts drawing shapes in the air. About this time, the big one gets up and like pushes his finger into Gej's chest. And Colm goes, right, and finishes the last of it. There is a wide spot in front of you that looks like a sheet of purplish energy. And he says, come on, and he steps both of you through. You feel as though you're being poured through a funnel. It's not unpleasant, but it's just awkward. It doesn't hurt, but it's just like, well, this is new. The next thing you know, you watch as there's a shoop, and this portal opens up on the other end, down on the opposite side of the truck, on that down at the base of the hill, and he kind of steps forward. I wouldn't do that. Moonin, roll to attack. Because you said if somebody puts a hand on him.
I, in fact, did. Can I use my things for this shot?
You absolutely may.
Cool. We're gonna take a Deadeye Sharpshooter. So give myself advantage with a -5.
Well, that's also happening. Sorry, go ahead.
How does Sharpshooter work with a natural 20?
Natural 20 hits, you double all of your dice damage the way you would normally, and then you add your +10. Since it is not a rolled, it is just a
Well,
set.
since it's a -5 on the to hit,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't
Nat
matter.
20 is a nat 20 is a nat 20 is a nat 20.
Okay, just
I like
checking.
Raymond's
I
big
don't.
head
I
pop
don't. I don't know how that works.
So there you go.
So
Is our timer up?
Yes,
Is it?
our timer is
Yeah,
up.
Fuck.
Fuck yes.
It's like you were just holding that one in.
Don't you
think it would,
fucking
John.
touch my cleric.
This is your cleric.
He's gonna feel
give me a
this
second.
long before he hears this. But that's 2d10.
Because normally it's 1d10, right?
The rifle's 2d10 plus 5.
So it's 4d10
4d10.
because it's a critical, which means you double all of your damage dice.
This man is never feeling anything ever again. Sorry, Cap.
See, just like
Like
he's
Raymond
just
said,
standing
head
there for a
pops off.
second with his finger in your chest, and then everybody is just covered in gore. And then the body just slowly slumps down.
While that was happening, may I also take an action? If not, that's okay.
We'll see what happens here.
I really enjoy the idea of Moonin aiming right for his hand, like it's touching Gej, and then he just doesn't have a hand.
Can't see the hand. Sorry.
I know, but I thought it was funny.
Happy New Year to you guys as well.
Happy
Yeah.
New Year.
Happy 2021.
I'm just gonna call it
So
21.
21.
so
21.
it's with the +5 with the +10 for sharpshooter. That's 46.
46.
46.
Okay.
D.
4,
like
6. 4, 6. Yep. It hits this guy right in the side. Where were you trying to do? You going for like lung shot? Were you trying to hit him in the head? Were you trying to shoot him somewhere?
This is a straight up warning shot from the abyss. This is going for like a wing, shoulder.
Okay. Your round was dead on. No miss whatsoever. You had lined it up perfect. It is probably one of the better shots you've taken. It catches him right underneath, and you know that it would probably he would live from it. He wouldn't want to, but he would live from it. Instead, what you see is it impacts him, and there's you see him move. Then you hear the retort of the rifle. He looks down and reaches underneath his arm and moves, and you don't see any blood on his hand or anything. He looks back up and looks around, and he says something else. Yeah. He says something else, and as he steps forward, you catch a little something dangerous.
Huh.
You watch as he grins, and whatever he's saying, all of a sudden you watch as calm goes, Oh, you see canines that are elongated. You watch as you realize the big matted beard seems to grow a little bit more. He shakes his head as he does. You watch his form swell as you are now facing off against what you can only think is a lycanthrope.
Do I have time to do anything?
I will allow you to take. What is it that you would like to deal? Because he is taken aback. So I will give you a surprise round. Each of you gets one action. What are you doing?
So
Yell fuck.
okay.
That's your action.
Damn it.
I'm just kidding. What's up?
Okay, so one action that is just the action. I can't take a bonus action with that.
No. I mean, you each get a turn.
Okay, so what Gej is going to do is he is going to reach over to Emrys and cast Sanctuary on Emrys. It's a bonus action to cast. It lasts for a minute, and any creature within range against attack, or it's this. They have to roll a Wisdom saving throw before they can attack Emrys, and they have to be 14. No,
Correct.
not 14. It's a level 2 spell.
And if they fail to do so, it's your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency plus 8. So what's your wisdom modifier?
It's 4.
So 4 plus your proficiency
yeah,
of 2
14.
plus 8 is 14.
Yeah, that's
So they have to make a 14 wisdom save, otherwise their attack is wasted, or they can redirect it to somebody else.
And with my actual attack action, I'd like to take my spear and stab through the rubber of the tire of the vehicle so nobody can leave. Or to try and cripple the vehicle.
You know what? Absolutely, you do. You run the tire through. They kind of like look down for a second as you go to stab, thinking you're going to try to stab him, and as you go, stinking into the tire, they look a little bit confused. All right, so let's go ahead and Moonin, Emrys, Liss, what are you guys going to do? So let's start with Emrys. What are you doing?
I had it and I've lost it. I would like to I had two things that I wanted to do specifically, and it was just like neither of them are even attacking.
Give them a hug.
Okay.
One thing specifically I'd like to, because the question is would we be informed of like lycanthropy or anything like that? Would we know? I know we need silver weapons, I believe.
Oh, would you know? You would know. I think you would be aware of this, but
fact,
like
whether or not it's true or not,
right,
kind of
you're
thing.
not sure.
So if we go, I'm like, the way I would work is that I would go, like, even if there's just a slight rumor, there's a chance of they might be weak to silver, they might not be weak to silver. I don't have silver, so, and then there's another thing we haven't talked about is the poison that I have, but I'd like to coat a dagger with poison.
Okay.
We've talked about it, but we haven't talked about whether or not how much damage it does and stuff.
So when you coat it, you get basically that attack.
Okay.
And then it's a con save.
Yeah.
Do you remember what type of poison we talked about?
It was like I would mostly use it for trying to retrieve information. So it would just be a consistent pain feeling. Whether or not it actually deals damage was
Okay, so it may not cause actual damage, like it's not going to kill them.
Yeah.
But it's torturous.
It's torturous.
There
It's
are worse
just gonna
things than
hurt a
dying.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna hurt a lot. Whether you die to it or not is up to you.
Okay.
Oh yes, I do remember the other thing. All I'm gonna say is, when his teeth start going sharp, I want one of those, please and thank you. Just for Oh, I just felt my ribs crack.
Would stretch.
So as he's just like coating, I'm just like coating my dagger a little bit with it. He's got a glove on while he's coating it. And then I'm gonna want one of those teeth once this is done with. Please and thank you. Because I believe coating the dagger with poison is an action. So I'll just wait to attack.
Alrighty then.
A little bit
Okay.
of prep isn't a bad thing.
Liz.
Liz has rolled to attack 13 plus 7, 20 to be Ray of Enfeeblement. So I assume that meets their AC.
Yes, it does.
So on hit, the target deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends, which is up to a minute. At the end of each of the target's turn, it can make a con save of 15.
Okay. Excellent. So he deals half damage with strength-based attacks.
And we have not rested, correct?
Since
Not-
the mayor's.
Not really, because you guys, kind of took off and then had a sit down. If you want to say in that time you've gotten a short rest, absolutely.
Okay.
So if you get anything back on a short rest, there you go. Okay. So you did Ray of Enfeeblement. That brings us to our buddy Moonin. Your held action won't count for this because they are definitely surprised.
Okay. I'm concerned about the large furry fella now. I'm gonna try and save some of the script points, so we're just gonna do a straight attack from the beyond.
Okay.
Can I do anything else exciting? Yeah. Attack.
You're shooting the werewolf.
Did anyone else make a move when he got hit while he was transforming? Or is it mostly just that guy being like,
It was pretty much that guy being all rawr. The rest of them sort of stepped back a little bit, but that's it.
Sure. That's a 10 plus 9. 19.
That will hit. Are you shooting him again then?
Yes.
Okay. Your round hits him, does no damage to him. He seems to almost shrug it off.
Okay. I won't even roll for it.
Okay. Roll initiatives, everyone. There we go. All right. 20 or higher.
21.
22. Sorry, it took me a second. I have a +8, so I was like, fuck.
Okay. What about 15 or higher?
17.
Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. First up is our good buddy Emrys. You watch as the rest of them seem to back up, giving plenty of space for all of you. And it looks like a bunch of good old boys watching Bubba try to take on some of the out-of-townies.
All right.
come to the wrong neighborhoods. What y'all doing?
We're gonna try for a dagger hit.
Having a good old Donnybrook, boys.
Wait, hold on.
Go time. Do we take
Hold
off
on.
our shirts?
Do we take off our shirts?
Like a bunch of
How about
spurs.
just a friendly
A heck of a treasure trail, yes.
armed
Body hair of a 12-year-old Dutch girl.
Hold on. Sorry, because I have a feeling I would understand how sanctuary works.
You attack.
It breaks.
It breaks.
I'm gonna hold my action if he gets close enough for me to hit him. Damn it.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, actually, it's honestly great because I'm a baby. I don't have the highest AC, so I am going to hold my action.
Don't forget the encounter. You have a +2 to AC and saving throws.
I still have a baby AC, even with a +2. I say baby, but it's a 16 now. But hold on.
All right.
I just
What action are you holding if he moves closer?
an attack. A fight with that dagger that I have poisoned.
Okay.
Is your dagger out very plainly?
Yeah.
Cool.
There's probably
Yeah.
a different sort of color to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then is that your turn?
Yes. I'll
Good.
step back a little bit more, probably like back behind Gej a little bit, unless that's gonna move me out of range of him. Is he like in front of us?
Yeah, he's standing in front of Gej.
All right, standing pretty. I'll give him a wink.
Okay.
Gedgerino.
Yes. Is Emrys's dagger within touching distance for me?
I mean, yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna touch it, and I'm gonna cast magic weapon on it.
You now have a +1 to damage in armor class, or not damage, armor class. Jesus, to
I'll
attacks
take
and
another
damage.
+1.
No.
Can I see it? I touch it.
The weapon is also considered magical. Obviously.
Now it's really shiny and glistening like a green. I love that. Okay.
It's like oil on top of water in a parking lot.
All right, so magic weapon, bink on that dagger. Now what?
And then I believe. Give me a moment. This is an action, so I'm going to cast as well Guiding Bolt on this gentleman in front of me. One is a bonus action, the other is an action.
Right. Is magic weapon a cantrip or a leveled spell?
It's a leveled spell.
You will not be able to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay, that's fine. I do have my spear out in that case.
Now, you can cast magic weapon and a cantrip. That's okay. You just can't cast 2 leveled spells.
Gotcha.
So if you wanted to hit him with Sacred Flame or whatever else you have,
I do have Word of Radiance.
that would be one you could use.
I'm not going to be rude and cast it on other people because right now they're not interfering. I'm just going to cast it on him. I will need a Constitution save of 14.
You got her, buddy.
I got her. He will take
9. So yes, he takes what?
4 radiant damage, if that makes a difference.
For radiant.
For radiant.
Maybe he's
Radiant,
more
beautiful
of it. Maybe
hair.
it's for radiant. Okay. All right. Is that your turn?
That will be my turn.
Moo Nen.
Moo.
Sure. Hopefully he likes his friends more than he likes getting shot at.
You start popping off his allies. Just.
I mean, I feel like
Bob?
I feel like we're gonna reach a point where either he's gonna stop and want to talk, or he's just gonna let his friends die.
Is that guy's name Larry? Well, he won't need a hat anymore.
So
Goodbye, Larry.
how many people have created the circle? It was 4 in the
5.
back.
There were 4 in the
And-
back, 2 in the front. Everybody's gotten out and they've circled around. The circling number is 5.
Okay. I'm gonna roll a d10, and each person gets 2 numbers. Okay. We're gonna hit the 4th guy. I'm just gonna lob a round down.
Okay.
Just hear someone shouting from the top of the hill. What's your name?
Ezekiel.
Bang.
Well done.
That's a lot. That's a 19 plus 9.
That'll hit.
What's your name?
Dog.
For
Good.
17 damage.
He drops to the ground. He's lying down there, but that's all you can see. From those of you who are down at the road, you watch this guy take the shot, the force of the bullet tearing through, and he is flung to the dirt path, to the road.
Poor dude's so tuckered out.
He's just sleepy. He's just sleeping. He's just
Um,
sleeping.
Realizing I'm really far away, I'm going to action surge and do that to the next guy in line.
Okay.
We'll try this one as a sharpshooter.
Okay.
Just because I feel like being awful. Math plus 4. Say 19.
19 hits.
Okay. Bang, bang. Look at him taking his nap.
You want to night, night, mother.
Sweet dreams.
So it's the dice plus 15. 15. That's 21.
Damage.
21 damage.
This one also drops to the ground.
And
Significantly more of his face missing.
Actually, I'll come around to that in a minute.
joke's on everybody. They're all lycanthropes, and I'm really far away. My bad.
The car's still up there, so if all else fails,
Run.
Me sitting there 200 something feet away, just, they'll be fine. Bang. Yeah, bang.
All right, is that your
Everything's
turn?
fine.
I think that's really all I can do. That's 4 shots now. Yeah.
Okay. Liz.
I need a wisdom saving throw from him for Toll the Dead. It's a cantrip.
Mm-hmm. What's that DC?
15.
He succeeds.
I don't
So,
think it does anything.
It does not, unfortunately. So he succeeds on that one as you sound the dolorous bells to try to shake him to the core. Unfortunately, he is resisting your bell ringing. All right, that brings us to the Wolfman himself. The 2 allies that you hit with rounds and drop to the ground, you watch as they struggle getting up. You can see small trickles of blood where the rounds have hit them, but they seem to be dazed because it still has force, momentum, things like that. But you can see that they are not DED dead. He looks at you, Gage, and he goes to attack you.
Does this proc my hold attack? Sorry.
What was the caveat?
Whenever he came close to attack.
Enough for you. I mean, he was standing right in front of.
Yeah, or whenever he went to go make an attack, because I wasn't sure if he would go for me or if he would go for Gage.
Okay. Yes, it would proc your attack.
Okay, I'll let you finish your attack. Go ahead.
Okay. No, yours would go off first.
Oh, okay.
As soon as he lunges, you would make your attack.
I guess the other question that I have is, does that proc my assassinate? Because he technically hasn't gone as well.
No, it would not.
Okay. I'm just making sure it doesn't proc my sneak attack or not. 18.
18 does hit him.
Okay. Sorry. Apologies. Sorry.
You're fine.
I lost my D4.
You're fine. I'm looking at the image that Otter has in our call.
8 damage.
In the Zoom call?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's just like staring at you. Okay, so he takes 8 damage, and we're going to say con save 15. And he succeeds with an 18.
Yep.
So he does not recoil in pain, but he will take how much damage for?
It counts as magical now. It was a total of 8.
8. Okay, thank you. My brain just did not math right.
That's okay.
Okay, now 19 to hit you, Gage.
Nope.
That plus
20,
2.
It's 20 right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 19 on the die plus 4.
Oh.
Why you gotta do me like that, Cap?
Because I'm bad at things.
Yeah.
I'm still new, okay? I haven't been playing this for 30 years.
23 will hit, yeah.
All right. That's going to be 4, 6, half to 3 because he is enfeebled. So you take 3 points of damage. And then he's going to try to bite you because join him.
No.
Oh, yeah, no, this is definitely a no because that's a 4 on the die. So he ain't got no plus 16.
I want nothing to do with that. It's really hard to pull a trigger when you're a lycanthrope.
something comment. All right. The other two look as though they are starting to turn. However, from beside you, Liz, you've been in combat with this man before, but you've never really seen him do anything. You watch as Colm steps forward, and as he does, he draws what looks like a small, metal rod from his hand, from his pocket. And he twists through the air, and as he does, you watch as 3 bolts of energy leap from the end of it. And they strike the werewolf. That's 2 of them strike the werewolf. For 9, 10. Plus 3 for each one, so 16 points of damage to the werewolf. As Colm unleashes Eldritch Blast. He then steps back and he takes the rod and he just kind of drops it on the ground. And it just kind of rings hollow. Boing. That is Colm's turn. Emrys, it is your turn.
All right, let's try this again. That probably misses an 11.
Oh, just barely in this form.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I got, sadly.
Sad trombone noises. Womp, 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 womp. All right, that takes us to Gage, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
I'm going to use my last level 2 spell.
Okay.
To also make my weapon magical.
Magic-y magic.
Yes. And I'm going to try to run him through with my spur.
With the spare spear.
With my spur.
What my spur.
23.
Yeah, that's him. Would you look at that?
Would you look at the time? 5 damage, and I would like to use as well the War Priest. It
You got a
pretty
second
well just
attack?
gives me like an action surge. I feel really bad because these are rolling really high. 25.
That hits.
Cool. For another 4 damage. Yeah.
All right. You can see that he has taken quite a few hits, and he is like looking around at his allies. Moonin.
Howdy.
Hey, buddy.
It's kind of hard to read the situation from all the way over here.
You should get in the car and drive.
Do any of them look out of place? Of the group of people in the vehicle, or do they all seem the same?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. So 14 plus 5. It's 19.
Which is you can see one of the men is standing, like the rest of them kind of have that gang mentality. They're looking on and they're kind of chanting and talking and cheering and stuff. Except for one man, you recognize him. He would have been the driver. He's wearing a hat like a trilby. No, I'm sorry. He's wearing an actual fedora. You can see he's wearing an actual fedora. He's got a jacket on. He's got his arms crossed. Like you can tell his posture seems to be one of like he's watching this intently. Like he's taking this in. You can see that he is much older than the rest of the men gathered around there.
I feel like he's my guy. We're gonna take a dead eye at that fella.
Okay.
Even with the dead eye, a 16.
The round flies out, and just as it is about to hit him, it's like something in the air triggered, and you watch as he turns his head and then slightly sidesteps. The round like tears across his jacket as though like a grazing shot, so it leaves a streak through the jacket and it hits the dirt near him. And he turns and looks up the hill at you, and you can see he's looking at you, and you see him do his hands like this. And he's like motioning his fingers.
Like a wave, or do I
Like kind of
Stand
like
down.
like stop firing or like hang on, kind of a wait motion.
This is interesting. Don't do that.
Stop it. Stop it. You're just pissing him off. Quit wasting ammunition.
Would I've noticed that?
Nope. You guys are looking at the combat. He just kind of turned and motioned. You mean you may have seen him turn, but you don't know like what for. All right.
That'll pique my interest. I'm gonna use my movement to head over to the car.
Okay.
And I assume I
enough.
can't drive it on the same turn, so
Sure, why not? You absolutely can. Take your action to interact with the object.
I already shot.
Oh, that's right. You did shoot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You cannot drive on this turn.
No. use my movement to get to the vehicle, and
Jump in the
then
car.
yeah.
Okay. Liz, you saw one of them kind of turn and then turn back.
And also, thank you, Just Enough Wrong, for a party boon.
Another party boon. I've already given you
Listen.
guys like a +2.
Y'all get a
Yep.
really cool hat for the rest of this encounter.
Actually, everybody has resistance for the rest of the encounter.
Resistance to
Damage. All
Okay.
sorts. All forms of damage.
That just cuts it in half, right?
Correct.
So does it half the half on the enfeebled fellow?
Yeah. It would quarter it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, which he got to make that save again, didn't he?
It's like playing with a cat.
He's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meow.
Turns her head to watch the person who turned, but she's going to cast Toll the Dying on the guy again. So I need
Okay.
another con save.
What's your DC again?
15.
Okay, well, it's not a 9, which is what I rolled. All right, how much damage do you do? That's to be a D12.
8.
Okay.
Necrotic, if that matters.
It is good to know, but it does not. All right. Is that your turn?
Yes. But she's now intently watching the guy to see if there's any other movement that he does.
As a matter of fact, as you are intently watching, you can see him step forward and he holds his hat up off of his head and he starts to kind of wave it, wave it off. He puts a hand on the werewolf and he says something to him in Romani. The man kind of steps and slowly transforms back into his normal self. Colm says, "Oh, I forgot. We let you out of the car, but none of you speak the language around here. This is embarrassing. This has all been a big misunderstanding." He says a few words to the man with the hat, who has now put it back on his head. And they have a conversation back and forth. You watch as everybody's sort of tense, with the exception, like you guys are tense, they're tense. Eventually, you see the man just kind of nod his head, and he says something to the rest of the group. And you watch as the ones that were standing at the edge of the ring climb into the back of the truck. The one that wolfed out on you and took a swipe at you, he looks sheepish for a moment, and then he sticks out his arm towards Gedge.
The guy just kind of looks at Comb and then back at the man, and he'll rest his spear and reach out.
All right, he shakes your hand. As he does, he pats you once on the shoulder, and then he also walks over and climbs into the truck. The driver walks around to Colm, and they have a brief conversation. Colm says, "So these fellows are protectors of the woods of this area, this region. We're driving the Duke's car. They are not fans of the Duke at all. They thought that we were working for him. They wanted to have a word. They thought that you were mocking them. Whenever the shot rang out, they assumed they were being ambushed, and so all of this took place. I've explained to him who we are, and that we are not a fan of the Duke, but I've gotten more information for us as well, concerning a certain fire that burned down a building." He says
pulls
something
up
more.
and just kind of waves at the group.
you roll up, and you're seeing this whole thing. You're like, I guess we're done shooting.
I've got a rifle the pistol rested on the windowsill as I'm pulling up. Like, I don't know what's going on. That was really far away.
Bliss would also get rid of the ray of enfeeblement. She would no longer be concentrating on it.
Okay. The man is speaking to Colm, and after a few moments, Colm nods at him, and then he shakes his hand. The man gets in the vehicle and leaves. He goes, if the information is accurate that he's given me, we've got an interesting time ahead of us. We all are understanding that in the war there was a lot of magic being used and new things were happening. Does the name Peter Diedrich ring a bell with any of you? History checks from all of you, please.
I rolled a 19. I think I know the things, even though I have a +0 to it.
Gedge is like, I don't know this name.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Everyone's holding up their hands with their numbers, and I forgot I wasn't on camera and did the same thing.
I love it.
You're a precious peach. Thank you so much for the follow. All right, so
that was a 21.
A 21. Yes, you two do know the name Peter Diedrich. You know that he is research and development, specifically with bioscience, biologist, as well as a doctor. He works with the rumor mill around it said that he was engineering things, trying to make bigger and better or stronger or return things from dead. There are conversations of him working with necromantic arts and things of that manner. Nobody really knows what happened to him. His efforts in the war were definitely on the side of the is definitely on the side of the Ottoman Empire and the Austria-Hungary combatants. There was never any story of if he was successful or not, just that he was practicing these things. And that is the name of the doctor. You get back in the vehicle. Colm picks up the little metal rod that he had and puts it back into his pocket. Gets in the car, and the lot of you proceed.
Their tire's flat.
Their tire is flat, so they're changing a tire as you guys are driving off.
Could I help them?
And Gedge is like, my
fault.
bad.
Can I help them with it?
Yeah, you can help them with it. That's fine.
Cool.
So it helps them go faster. I mean, there's only 6 of them. Sure, they need your help, extra help.
Yeah, but I'm the one that personally started shit. Apparently. Well, not really, but just.
I mean, I kind of started that.
I assume that Liz in her bag has some sort of healing potion of some sort, correct?
Sure.
She gives one to the guy to the werewolf. She's like, sorry for that. Here you go. Promise it's not poison.
He accepts and says something in Romani, to which all of them laugh. The older man even gives a little bit of a, kind of a chuckle. Colm blushes for a moment. And then looks to you and says, he said normally he's buying drinks for the pretty lady, not the other way around.
She just giggles and she also blushes, but she's just like, that's funny. But it's she doesn't say anything besides giggling and blushing. And she's just like, I'm going back to the car. And she's all like, does he understand that it's going? Well, she turns to Cone. Sorry, now you've gotten me flustered. But she turns to Colin and she goes, does he understand that it is helpful not going, that I'm not, trying to make him poisoned, lightly poisoned?
I'm like 70% sure what I gave him is not poison.
Oh no, she has her healing potions. She knows what those are.
I'm sure he was just making a joke. I'm hopefully certain that he knows what it is. I think that we should be on our way. And so the lot of you pile into the vehicle and head down the road once more. And as you do so, the night sky is starting to, or the night is starting to draw in on you, and there are no stars as clouds have clouded up the sky. After a bit more driving, you can see that your destination is nigh at hand, and the soft patter of rain hits the top of the car, knowing that this will be not a pleasant night. In the town that is nearby, you do find a place for all of you to stay, hopefully beating out the storm and investigating your new haunt, if you will, on the next go round. However, that is for next week as we draw this episode to a close. I want to thank my wonderful party. So a huge thanks to Q, who is playing Emrys, to Voodoo, I almost said your name, to Voodoo, who is playing as Gej, and to Vixen, who is playing as Liz, and to Otter, even though he wasn't on camera with us, we appreciate having him here. Otter, who is playing as Moonin. I am your DM, Cap, aka Heath, aka the Diabear GM. It has been my absolute pleasure to run this game for you tonight and every Monday night, at least for 5 more episodes. Thank you so much. Again, tomorrow night, there will be no show tomorrow night. However, we do have Wednesday night. We're back. Q will be running Monster of the Week, so come watch them hunt monsters. And then on Thursday, Maddie will be back with Descent into Avernus. And then on Saturday, Alex, I believe, is back with Stolen City. So you guys tune into all of those. Again, all times are 6 p.m. Central. If you want to, join us in the Discord, join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, do all the things. We are out and about. We appreciate your support and being here. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Until next Monday, take care and remember to roar for initiative. Good night, everyone.
Rat.